40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of the Area 51 Truck Superspeedway series here on Green, White, Checkered TV. 2 weeks off for the 4th of July holiday, and we are back in action here at Echo Park Speedway, formerly Atlanta Motor Speedway, or Atlanta Superspeedway as we've called it in the past after the repave in 2022, but it's 1.5 miles, and it is going to be, I believe, 90 laps scheduled distance for tonight, and we are just underway with qualifying here. A couple trucks starting to make their way out onto the racetrack and are getting their positions settled for the starting grid here tonight. Pretty solid up mid-20s for car count so far, and a few more stragglers joining in here, but we've got should be a good show in store for you guys after the holiday break. So obviously you're hearing the voice of Boomer Logan, myself here up in the booth, and we've also got Brandon Briggs alongside me as per usual. So Brandon, welcome back after the 4th of July holiday. You got in here and you were already excited, like you're ready to go. You sound like you want to call this and are excited to be back in action here tonight.
Yeah, we've had some really great racing to start off the season, and then we took a break, and it's I'm ready to get back to it. I'm excited. Hope everybody enjoyed the holiday weekend and kept all their fingers and toes. And but yeah, I'm ready to get back here to Hot Atlanta. It's a fast, slick racetrack since they redone it. We got some great drivers. See if anybody's got anything for Cody Nagels and Gabe Butler. After 3 races, they're a point apart. So I'm ready to get racing back underway, and I think almost everybody's about done qualifying.
Yeah, we've got a minute and a half left, but it looks like most drivers have already taken their times, so we're just waiting for either the last few to except that they won't take a qualifying time or start that, but we've got at least, no more than a minute and 14, 15 and counting seconds to go before we get into the race session for tonight. So again, here in Atlanta tonight, definitely one of the more unique tracks that we go to. It's the first time we've been here all season. It's really the only one that we're going to talk about tire wear for what, the super speedway style of racing. Tire wear does make a bit of a difference here. We saw in the very first race here that we ever ran, it made a ton of difference. And then over time, it's, kind of, more like with the real world track, like it's kind of grip, or it's, loses a little bit of grip, but in the sim, the track never really changes, so we don't see nearly as much tire wear as we did before, based on some of the updates in iRacing. But I guarantee we're going to be talking about that tire wear and that tire strategy here tonight, Brandon.
Oh yeah, most definitely. 100 laps around Atlanta. I think the temperature right now, the track was around like 95 degrees. So we all know what that's like if you go out there and just take your shoe and just rub it on the concrete over and over. Eventually, it's going to wear away. So the tires are going to do the same thing just quickly. So that's really going to make the strategy. Is if we got some green flag pit stops, these guys are going to have to decide: do I take 4 tires? Do I take 2 tires? A lot of decisions going to make some different strategies tonight.
Different strategies indeed, and you see those trucks starting to make their way onto pit road. So we're going to bring up that starting grid for you tonight and see where they will start here tonight. So Cody Nagels is going to grab that top spot. As you see that number 16 truck there on pit road right now. Alongside of him is going to be Gabe Butler in the 88 for Team Bootnaka. He is going to be outside pole. Rick Sanchez in the 5 is going to be there in row number 2 on the inside. Vicente Guerrero is going to be starting just to his outside. And Rick, the most recent winner here. We've had 3 different winners through 3 races so far, so we'll see if we get a repeat winner for the first time or not tonight. And also for the first time, we've got Ryan Decker joining us for the Friday night series in the 48 Chevrolet. He's going to be in the inside of row number 3. Keedy Engstrom from Sweden over the pond is going to be to his outside. Bud Steele in number 6 is going to start 7th on tonight, or for tonight's grid. Jim Brooks will be to his outside, couple teammates side by side in that 7th and 8th starting spots. Adam Kilday inside of row number 5 for Vendetta Motorsports. To his outside is Eric Laurie, rounding out the top 10 for your starting positions. We got Bob Fitzgerald and Gary Huffines side by side on row number 6. Row number 7 is going to be Dale Rapp in the 52. Everett Lane will be in the 24 to his outside. Justin Davis there in the number 10 machine is going to be inside of Joshua Highbaugh for row number 8. 9th row is Anthony Lane alongside Doug Webb. And rounding out the top 20, we got Doc Holliday and Hayden Davis in the 19. David Overstreet and Mike Allen will find themselves on the 11th row. And then we've got Les Levy and Robert Amaral rounding out the field. Actually, one more entry here, and the 25th spot is going to be Thomas Holder starting shotgun on the field for tonight as we roll off of pit road and get ready to start this race. So we'll have 100 laps, the scheduled distance for tonight, not 90. Going to be should be an eventful race. We'll see how it plays out. Obviously, we've seen from the get-go races get pretty crazy here at times, but once the chaos kind of settles down, usually the middle parts are a little quieter, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see, because we've had just about everything that you can think of here at Atlanta, from green flag all the way to plenty of yellow flags, which gives us lots of opportunities to shout out our wonderful sponsors. And pace car lights are up. Brandon, final thoughts as we make our way through turns 3 and 4 and get ready to go here.
Not many thoughts. You're going to have to be up on the wheel tonight. That top 5 is stacked, including a driver we haven't seen in a couple weeks. Ryan Decker, he's back tonight. It's time to pull that 4D race wear tight. Boom. It's about time to drop that green flag.
Pace car is going to dive onto pit road, and we are just about ready to get rolling here. Cody Nagels will be the control car from the pole position as we get ready to race here at Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta.
Yeah, good, very good start there by the bottom. It looked like maybe that outside lane maybe spun their tires a little bit getting going. Looks like everybody's going to make a clean start here. Was seeing them drivers in the back a little bit anxious. Guys jumping a little bit early as the 16 and the 5s jumped out here to the front.
16's got a big push from the 5, and the 48 of Ryan Decker is going to make his move to the high side and gain a couple spots on this initial start here. Cody Nagels looks like he'll have the opportunity to get a bonus point for the first lap led for tonight, and currently holds the bonus point for the most laps led, which will change, I'm sure, here soon enough. But the 16 and the 5 have a pretty good breakaway from the outside lane, who really just has Ryan Decker and Gabe Butler working there right now.
Yeah, I think that 48, he's up here pushing. He's going after it early. I think he's maybe came in here, heard about the bonus money, maybe sneak in here, get some bonus money, and maybe help somebody out that he hasn't helped in a while as he's trying to lead that outside lane there with the 88. But like you said, that 5 and 16, it's really going to be tough to pass those guys, especially as these tires wear. Them are two really good super speedway drivers, and you're really going to have to hit your marks.
Yeah, obviously Cody's still fairly new to the series here, but showing his prowess on these super speedway style races very, very quickly. And obviously Rick Sanchez, one of the famed veterans here in the series, has plenty of experience both in the trucks and on super speedways. And then the likes of, obviously, our top 5, Bud Steele, Ryan Decker, Gabe Butler, all names that have been around for quite some time here, racing their way through the Area 51 ranks. The 14 truck of Vicente Guerrero is going to be first car outside of the top 5. Keedy Engstrom there, your 7th place position at the moment. Jim Brooks, Adam Kildee, and Eric Laurie are your top 10, as we are mostly double file. A little bit of an outside lane forming there with the 16, 48, and 88. A few more stragglers further on back, but the rest of the field just kind of settling out further on back, single file, saving a little bit of fuel early on.
Yeah, speaking of top 10, the 51 of Jim Brooks having a really good season. He's got himself right now sitting in 5th in points. Really like what the 51's been doing. A veteran driver here with Area 51, knows how to stay out of trouble and doesn't, like we talk about, sometimes not being mentioned at all is better than being mentioned too much, and that's really how I feel the 51 is. He comes to the track, does what he has to do, and as you can see, the hotness of the 51 is staying strong as he finds himself in the top 10.
Yeah, and I mean, that's for Roswell Motorsports, typically their MO is to, we've got a couple cars in the wall, one in the infield, it looks like. Is that Bob Fitzgerald? They are going to wreck. We are going to have a yellow.
Yeah, it looked like maybe could that have been, you think, boom, maybe a push gone wrong there, maybe entering the corner, or?
Yeah, we know it kind of started on the front straightaway, and you see Bob Fitzgerald is already coming back onto the speedway, and more chaos is happening above them. So we're just going to take this and rewind it from here, see if we can kind of understand a little more of what exactly happened here for the 08, as he's got the push from the 52 down the front straightaway. So we'll watch him here coming into turn 1, and yeah, it just looks like Devrep just gets into him just a little tough there. As we see in the outside, Keedy Engstrom brushed the wall and then is going to hold on to the wall, and then we see looks like the 52 in the middle of the track here, and was a 10 of Justin Davis that we're starting to check up a little more. So we'll rewind that back just again and try to see if we can see more of this chaos kind of mid-corner. But you see the 08 already going around. See if we can grab a better spot here. And then you see Gary Huffines and the 10 make a little bit of contact, and the 10 and the 52 make a little contact, and the 00 comes up and makes contact with the 64, and that is where, sorry, not the 64, excuse me. He was further ahead. We've lost our spot. There it is. So the 071 and the 19 getting a little bit of piece of that. Eric Laurie getting a piece, and the 13 of Mike Allen as well. The 77 Robert Amaral coming in towards the end there, nowhere to go, trying to lock it up, and just makes contact. And that's going to be the first incident for tonight. That one came pretty early on here, Brandon.
Yeah, and what we've talked about through the first 3 races with these trucks is how quick these runs come, and how much speed you're really carrying when you get there. And And tonight is really going to put these drivers to the test. We haven't seen it at most tracks. Nobody's really even used the third lane. They didn't feel it was beneficial. Or if they did, it was just to really not run into the guy in front of them, drop back, as we've seen at Daytona and Talladega. Here, I think we're really going to have to start to see that third lane come into play, because here you just can't check up like that. There's the running's too tight, and just make the third lane move, and I think that will solve some of these problems.
Yeah, definitely. That third lane is, I mean, it seems like it's pretty easy to do there, but you can see with the painted lines on the speedway, it is pretty tight, especially at how many G's these cars are actually pulling with the tighter corner radius here at Atlanta. So it's going to be pretty challenging for those guys to get that third lane going, but when it does, it's going to be spectacular to watch. Alrighty, well, we've got an opportunity here for our first caution. We're going to go to our first commercial break, and we will be right back.
I feel like I'm afraid to say how I feel, to know I let you down. 'Cause late nights turn to days, don't wanna let you down. With each breath we give away, it'll never be the same. I'm chasing somebody who won't ever ease the pain, but I don't want half of your heart, you can have it back if it's only half of your heart. If it's only half of your heart.
Gary Huffines is going to stay out on this pit cycle here, and he will assume the lead. Everybody else comes down pit road for a little bit of fuel, some tires, and some damage repair further on back in the field. Lap number 9, it'll be 10 when we cross the straight. Gary Huffines will be the control car for the first restart of the night through the Echo Park restart zone, and a really good run for the 00 and the 16 as the 00 gets clear of the 5 out into the lead, and the 48 is going to jump down to the bottom.
Yeah, I think the 00 told us how he thinks this race is going to go. Not coming in, getting tires at a track like this, especially under yellow.
And
10 laps in, too. Oh, yep, that right
once
there.
again,
We got
yeah.
another caution.
There's yellow flag.
I think that's what he was. I think that's what the 00 was thinking. Hey, they're going to come quite often tonight, so let's try to stay out front and keep our nose clean.
All right, so let's see. I know Jim Brooks was involved here, so we're going to focus on him and try to bring it back to the point of caution and see if we need to rewind a little. There in the middle of the corner, yeah, the 51 and the 10 just making a little bit of contact there as the 51 comes down a little bit. The 10's already down at the apron, and then the 01 gets into the back. I saw the 11 a little slow, and yep, he gets hit there, the 81 piling in, and then the 77, oh man, just barely clips the 51. I think Bob Fitzgerald got through there unscathed. Yeah, I think so. We'll see. Yep, gets around the 11, so that was a good wreck avoidance for the 08 of Bob Fitzgerald there, and Jim Brooks goes around 62 coming through late, nice and slow to try and avoid any chaos there. So not too much damage there, I don't see, but obviously we do have 2 fast repairs here in this series, which does help and gives these drivers an opportunity to maybe go for it a little more often than they might, and we'll see Gary Huffines stay out again. Cody Nagels will as well. Ryan Decker, Bud Steele. The first one to come in is going to be Rick Sanchez. And then Adam Kilday, David Overstreet, Keedy Engstrom, and Justin Davis will follow them down pit road, as well as the rest of the field behind them. So that'll put 13 cars staying out on this one. And we are going to organize our commercials here so we don't do the same one twice in a row, but we'll be right back, and this time we're going to hear from Whiplash SimCams. Lights are still on the pace car, so we should see them turn off here and should be going green back again after this next lap. So the 10 and the 51 and others involved in that last car. The second caution that we've already had for tonight.
Yeah, not much there. The 10 of Justin Davis can do about as low as he can get. Just a little quick hiccup here, and I think they're all going to be all right, like you said. No fast repairs hopefully needed there. And speaking of Justin Davis, like to give his dad a shout out. Happy birthday to him. Justin told us he tunes in and gives us a peek. We appreciate it. Hope you have a good birthday and a good weekend, and appreciate you celebrating it here with us on your Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate all of the spectators out there, but definitely a happy birthday out there for father of the 10, driver of the 10. And yeah, a fun way to celebrate on a Friday night is watching some good old action at the on Green White Checker TV here. So we will be going green this next time by. It'll be 14 laps. By the time we take the restart, Gary Huffines once again will be the control car, and we'll see if we can run for more than a lap here under green now.
Yeah, I think Gary made the right move there. A couple cautions ago, staying out, get your nose clean, and then not only that, but now he's not burning as much fuel as it goes either. So we talked about it earlier. These strategies going to come into play, and not even 13 laps in, and some guys are already making some decisions here. So one thing about Gary here, he's got to make sure he's on them old tires. You don't want to spin those tires and get ran over and find yourself in the back. So nice smooth start here for the 00.
So we'll see. He's got the push from Ryan Decker this time. He gets up and away. Through the gearbox they go. Back up to speed here at Echo Park Speedway.
Yeah, Cody Nagel's there with a good run. Jumps right down. And, yeah, I seen that coming, the 48. Those guys are going to be on some fresh tires. It may not seem like a lot. It's just some early here in the race, but it does mean a lot better for the grip and how you can push these cars. And you can see right there, it's just nothing against the 00. It's just these guys want to be able to move around, and it's going to be really hard to push that 00. As you see that 48, he's seen that opening, took the gap. He's going to lead lap 14, maybe.
He will indeed. Bonus point for the 48 of Ryan Decker. We know Caitlin is hanging out in the chat, watching with us tonight, so appreciate you out there. And like I said, the rest of the fans, a lot of them coming out to support their favorite drivers as Ryan gets to the lead here. Cody Nagels is going to try and see if he can regain this lead there. Oh, from the middle, they're going to wreck into the corner. It's going to be from the wreck from the front of the field, and surprisingly, not too many cars involved with that. Green flag actually stays out on the speedway, so we'll keep it live. But that's going to break up this pack quite a bit here. Bud Steele is going to take over the lead. Gary Huffines is there with the 52 of Dale Rapp. And obviously getting into the corner there, I mean, it didn't look like nobody actually went around, just kind of slowed everyone down a little bit. And like we said, that's going to segment this pack here just a little bit now.
How in the world did the 14 hang on to that? I'm pretty sure he was sideways through the whole corner. Nobody wrecks, and everybody's, I'm pretty sure, stays clean. I don't see anybody coming down pit road yet. Vicente Guerrero on the 14, he is the furthest car off the pack, 14 seconds and climbing, but I have no clue how those guys did not tear those trucks up.
Yeah, Vicente is going to come down pit road and get potentially some damage repair there. You see the right side of that truck is pretty tore up, especially the right front fender is completely missing. So, but Cody Nagels is actually going to resume the lead here. Everett Lane trying on the outside lane to get to the front. He's got Doc Holliday in the outside lane in that number 3 Silver Goodwrench, as he's going to actually duck down to the bottom. So it'll be the 16, the 00, the 52, and the 3 in the inside lane. The 24 is in the outside lane. And further on back, I believe that's Doug Webb. Yeah, Doug Webb there in the 714 in the outside lane. And that's going to bring about your top 10 into one group here. We'll keep an eye on the speeds for you. Gabe Butler is going to be here in this second pack. He does have Rick Sanchez and Ryan Decker with him, as well as Adam Kilday, and they are going to be doing everything that they can to catch up to this pack. They've got about a 2.7 second gap to Justin Davis, and that last time by, they were about a tenth and a half of a second faster than our leaders. So we'll see if these guys will have an opportunity to catch up to that lead pack before we get into the first round of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, and I don't want to go back to that accident again, but that was what we talked about, how quick those runs come. The 88 was in the second lane. That run comes so quick, he had to jump to the third lane, and by the time he wanted to come back down in front of his teammate Everett Lane, he's just being pushed, and it just gets 3 wide, and at this track, that's just sometimes what happens. But the 16 back out front, and the strategy of the double zeros is paying off for him, as him and the 52 up there running in the top 3.
Yeah, the only thing I do worry about is everybody came down for fuel on lap 7 except for him, so he's definitely going to have to pit before anybody else does. And if this does go green for a while, that's going to be a detriment to him, because I highly doubt anybody else is going to be willing to come down pit road with him at that point.
Yeah, it's definitely good, especially how we've spread out here. Boom. The only thing he can hope for is those guys that is back there a few seconds back. They maybe pushed too hard at the wrong time, but we can see the 10, and it looks like maybe the 19 of Hayden Davis and Justin Davis are going to try to make that outside line work as they're starting to make a little bit of progress there in the second lane.
Yeah, we're used to seeing family members make the high side work. Obviously, we've seen Seth and Patrick Groover make that high side work, and now it's going to be the cousins of Hayden and Justin here. Should be Hayden in the 19 is leading cousin Justin. Justin ran here last season and then told Hayden, is like, hey, there's some cool stuff going on here at Area 51, so why don't you come on over and make it another family affair here. And yeah, fun to see that. I mean, honestly, I don't know if that's probably better than a teammate is even. If you got a family member, they're probably way more likely to give you a push or help you out than just an average teammate would. So cool to see the family members there, and obviously Guile Brooks, who works with us here at Green White Checker TV, but also races from time to time. He's taken the week off after coming back from vacation. So usually it's Guile and Jim, father-son duo, and sometimes Koabi as well, the Guile's brother, to hang out and make it a family affair here. And I don't know, I enjoy that. It's a lot of fun to see some good teammates and some good family friends working together too.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a bonus, and these guys up here are still running. I seen the 3 and the 24 there. Dang, they were cutting it close. But I will tell you, it does look like that 88 pack. Here they come, as you can see them starting to picture in the back of the screen here. They're on the move, and those guys are going to need somewhere to go, and we're 2 by 2.
Yeah, I don't see them really pushing the issue too much, other than maybe to get a few more spots before we get to green flag pit stops, but definitely a well-earned effort for the 88 and the 5 to get this pack back up to the lead. And that's going to put up to 18th now. David Overstreet in the 46. 18th place will be caught up to this pack. We're going to go further on back. Anthony Lane, Joshua Highbaugh, the 11 of Thomas Holder, and the 13 of Mike Allen here are going to be just further back off of this pack. Don't have quite enough energy to move too far forward. They're about 5 seconds off the tail of Keedy Engstrom at the moment. And we've got Les Levy and Robert Amaral, who are running even more off the pace just with the duo that they have there. And then Vicente Guerrero, we'll see. Yeah, he was picked up by the pack, so he'll be your lucky dog candidate, although he is 2 laps down. He had to come down after that incident that didn't throw a caution and get some damage repaired. So he's going to be trying to mix it up with the leaders to see if he can put himself in the 1 lap down position ahead of the leader, so that if a lucky dog did come out, he would go straight to the lead lap. So could be a good opportunity, as you see the 14's working hard on the high side by himself. Also indicative that the inside lane might be trying to save a little bit of fuel as well.
Yeah, and I think you push it as hard as you can. I mean, we don't know if there's going to be any cautions. Me personally, I think we're going to have a few more, but you want to have that. If that caution does, you want to get right back on the lap immediately. You don't want some more cautions to happen, more guys you have to battle and race against as the race goes on here. So I understand the 14 is 2 laps down and he's racing the leaders right now, but very experienced driver, and he needs that lap back just as much as those guys need that spot there. So I don't expect the 14 to let off, and maybe hoping that somebody will jump up there to that outside lane and give him some help.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the fact that he can work, like I said, so much by himself is just a testament to, I assume, a little bit of fuel saving there on the inside lane. You saw the 52, the 3, or at least maybe the 3 and the 24 think about coming up, but not quite. So the 14 still running really hard, and yeah, like you said, he's got everything to gain by trying to run hard here. So he's going to do everything that he can, because if he can get ahead of that 16 and a caution were to come out, then immediately he becomes back on the lead lap, as Gary Huffines, as we expected, is going to be the first one to pit under green here.
I want to tell you, the 00 just pulled that off perfect. I thought something was happening there. He peeled off, got down, didn't overshoot. Atlanta is a very tough pit entrance. You can go as fast as you want till you get to that yellow cone there, but to keep it, looks like we're gonna have some contact back there. Gonna stay green. Looks like everybody's staying straight here. That's the break Vicente Guerrero was really, really hoping for, and these guys looks like it's gonna be no caution and gonna have to make their way around.
Yeah, David Overstreet with some heavy damage in the outside wall there. The 85 is going to pit, I think, with some damage as well. But again, we stay green. Yeah, you see the damage on the left front of the 85, pretty substantial. It looks like it's really hard for that car to turn. You can see that right front tire out of the fender, and that truck is absolutely going to need a fast repair. But so a little early of a pit stop for some, but able to capitalize on the action and get down pit road. Cody Nagels is going to be your leader. The 14 of Vicente Guerrero was able to get out in front there and is going to hold on to that position for as long as he possibly can. So the 16 of Nagels, the 52 of Rapp, then Doc Holliday, Everett Lane, and then Hayden Davis are going to be your top 5 at the moment here. That put another gap between the 85 and the 5 again. Their pack had to slow down just a little bit, and now they are trying to chase their way back up to the leaders once again.
Yeah, I'm super... Oh, there he goes right there. I was wondering, I hadn't seen the 46 in a while. I knew he had that damage, and I was hoping that he didn't back out of the race, but he is finally now going to make it down pit road. That's good, and the 14, he is, what was a great thing about that was that he is working with the 16. They are in the same channel tonight. So that's going to let the 16 be able to save just a little bit of fuel, and that's going to keep the 14 out front. But heck of a run there by the 52 and the 3 of Dale Rapp and Doc Holliday. Both of those trucks running extremely well tonight, and good to see those guys running up front.
Yeah, a lot of these guys in this top 6 here are really just benefactors of, kind of trying to keep their nose clean. Obviously, the 19 was involved in a little bit of the first incident, I believe, that brought out a yellow. But for the most part, the rest of these guys are just kind of keeping their noses clean, staying out of trouble, and are up here in the lead pack. But yeah, you mentioned the 14 and the 16 working together. That's a huge advantage. I'm really curious. Obviously, the 14 pit last at lap 16. So he's got about 10 more laps of fuel than his teammate does behind him. I'm curious if to try and stay on the same cycle as the leaders now and be the one who's in the lucky dog position, if he tries to continue to stay ahead. But as we mentioned, that a couple more cars are going to come down pit road, and we'll see. Yep, it'll be the 3 of Doc Holliday, the 19 of Davis, and then the 52 of Dale Rapp is going to lead that group of 3 down pit road. And as we say that, actually, Gary Huffines is going to be the first car 1 lap down at the moment. So him and Adam Kilday, who have pitted there at lap 30 and 31 when that incident happened, they are going to be battling for the lucky dog at the moment here. And we got a couple more leaders actually coming down pit road. Looks like Cody Nagels, the 14. So the 14 is going to pit with his teammate there. The 24 is coming down, and I think that's it for now. We'll see if anybody else is behind them. Yes, Gabe Butler and Ryan Decker, Doug Webb, Jim Brooks, Justin Davis, Eric Laurie are all going to come down pit road, and obviously we got Doc Holliday and Hayden rolling out now. So Bud Steele is going to assume the lead, and he's going to come in here now without too much help. Rick Sanchez is going to be still leading this second group with Joshua Highbaugh, and he's going to stay out. But further on back, looks like Bob Fitzgerald and maybe Mike Allen. Yep, they're coming down pit road. and Rick Sanchez is going to assume the lead and get a bonus point here.
Yeah, I like that move there by Vicente. Get on the same strategy as your teammate. Yeah, you just came down a couple laps before, but get on that same strategy just in case it does stay green, or you somehow have to get back, where you're pitting again. You don't want to keep pitting by yourself and losing even more. So I like that little bit of strategy there, and now we're going to see the 5 and the rest of the guys bring their trucks down pit road.
Yeah, the 5, the 101, I think the 81, yep, and Keedy Ingstrom and Robert Emerald still on the speedway. So Thomas Holder is going to get a bonus point for a lap lead here. He is out there in the lead by himself, so expect him to probably come down pit road soon as well. And Robert Emerald is going to come in this time by. So the only one who has not pit is going to be Thomas Holder, so he's going to hold out for at least one more lap and make his way down the backstretch and into the pit entrance for turn 3. And a reminder, they do not need to be at pit road speed through the middle of the corner. You just have to not go above that white line to their outside. And then as you get to the yellow line and the yellow cone, right about there is where pit road speed actually starts. And you need to be below that, I believe it's either 40 or 55. I think it might be 55, but I can't quite remember for the speedway. But yeah. So as far as the lead goes, Vicente Guerrero is going to come out ahead of his teammate Cody Nagels, and then the 24 of Everett Lane working with Team Bootnaka is going to be up there, and they've got a sizable gap, about 5 seconds back to the next drivers on the speedway, which are Dale Rapp, Bud Steele, and Gabe Butler. Another 2.5 seconds back to Rick Sanchez, who is going to be caught by this pack: Eric Laurie, Jim Brooks, Doc Holliday, Bob Fitzgerald, Ryan Decker, and Hayden Davis. You go another 5 seconds back, we'll find the 00 of Gary Huffines with Adam Kilday, the lap car of David Overstreet, who is right now your lucky dog. And then we've also got, it looks like, Justin Davis and, if I already mentioned, Doug Webb in that group. And then about a second and a half back and gaining on them is the 101 of Joshua Highball and the 64 of Keedy Ingstrom. Another 6 seconds back to Mike Allen. Another 15 seconds back to Les Levy, who I believe is currently 1 lap down. So I think he's actually currently the lucky dog. And then we go to Robert Amaral, who has found the 11 of Thomas Holder. And then the rest of, there's David Overstreet again, Anthony Lane by himself, and Vicente Guerrero leading the pack. So that goes through pretty much everybody. So it's pretty broken up here, and you can tell by the times on the scoreboard we really only have 3 trucks, but 2 on the lead lap that are currently battling for this lead, and they have a sizable gap back to Dale Rapp in third.
Yeah, and if you're this first little group right here, you still want to be pushing it. You don't want to take anything off. You want to try to make this gap as big as possibly it can, and I think 3 trucks is really where you like to be at. I think you can lay down a little bit of lap times, but I think what is going to hurt this little group here is I don't know if the 24 is going to push as hard. That a lot of his teammates is in that pack there behind him, so how much space do you want to put on there? But I'm watching the times, and that ticker is they are still gaining on those guys. And Boom, do you think this group right here took 2 tires, and maybe that group behind them took 4? Because I don't think Gabe and them were that far behind them, were they?
No, they weren't that far behind. There was a little bit of after that second issue that did not cause a caution, the second incident that we stayed green for, so technically the 4th of the night, but that did put a little bit of gap back to the 88 once again, unfortunately. The 88 was able to gain some of that back, but Bud Steele did take 4 tires. Rick Sanchez looks like he took right sides. Jim Brooks took right sides. Doc Holliday took 4. Ryan Decker took 4. Hayden Davis took 4. Most from Gary Huffines on back all took 4, but Cody Nagels, Everett Lane, Gabe Butler, Dale Rapp, and Eric Laurie took fuel only. So a little bit of a mixed bag of strategy here, but that's what put these guys so far out ahead. And looking at the lap times, Cody Nagels and Everett Lane are running a 30.06. Bud Steele and Gabe Butler that last time ran a 30.42, so over almost 0.4 of a second slower. So we'll see as it updates across the stripe if they can do any better. So a 30.22 for Cody Nagels in the lead. Bud Steele and Gabe Butler are going to run a 30.22 as well. So that 6-second gap is going to stay pretty consistent, although this pack here which has caught is going to catch Dale Rapp in just a second down the back straightaway. These guys are running last time by a 29.65, so 0.6 of a second faster than our leader Cody Nagels, Everett Lane, and then the lap car Vicente Guerrero, which makes sense. There's a lot of energy in this pack here, and especially as they pick up the 52, the 88, and the 6 here, this group should be rolling with quite a head of steam now at this point to be able to catch up to these leaders here, as they've caught a few more stragglers and lap cars in the 81 and I think 13 as well.
Yeah, and it's really good to see the 5 and them really catch that pack and hopefully run this down. It was really making me think the last season, boom, when the 55 and those guys, if you remember, they were 3 cars, and they really put a whooping on these guys as they went around here. They created just such a massive gap. Nobody could run them down. I believe there was a caution at the end that kind of threw a fork in that for them, but that's what I was kind of thinking we were getting to up here with the 14, the 16, and the 24, but I'm watching the times, and it does look like they're starting to chew away at it just a little bit, but which means we're going to have to keep going under green flag pit stop, so you're really going to have to execute and not make that little bit of a mistake by getting them right side tires on that white line and having to come back down, so this is where you're really going to have to execute.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, pretty much everybody coming down between lap 37 and about 40 there. A little bit of a mixed bag for most, and with that, I mean, obviously we've been kind of high 20s for laps between pit stops. Some actually, I think Cody Nagels went 30 laps, but obviously some cautions in there. So mid to high 20s is going to be reasonable to assume. So if we're all pitting on lap, let's say 35 at the worst, obviously, you know, that's about 65 laps to the finish, so probably still 2 more pit stops to go to the end of this race, as we are now just past the halfway point. Cody Nagels is trying to cement his name as the bonus point holder for the most laps led, doing a good job clicking those laps off here, pushing the 14 of Vicente Guerrero ahead of him. Again, Vicente is 2 laps down if he were behind the leader, but he is the tail end of 1 lap down at the moment. Not in the lucky dog position, but a big advantage for him to be ahead of his teammate who is leading the field to stay only 1 lap down. Mike Allen is currently your lucky dog candidate. And then most of the second pack, as we check back into lap times, last time they're about 1/10 of a second faster that last lap. We'll see as they update across the stripe a 30:41 for Cody Nagels. We'll jump back to the second group, and it is a 30:28 for Bud Steele. So about 1/10 and a half faster, and Bud Steele holding the pretty wheel there for Gabe Butler to give him a really great push, as you see down the back straightaway. So they're trying to chip away at that 5-second gap or so that they have to the leaders here. I don't know if they're going to be able to close that gap with these current speeds before the next set of green flag pit cycles, though, Brandon.
Yeah, and if I'm the 88 and the 6 and these guys back here, I'm not panicking. These guys, some of them are really, really, really good at pit stops. We've seen Gabe and some of these guys really put a distance, just like the 16 and those guys did up there. So I think these guys are understanding. We're just now at the halfway point. A lot of race to go. So don't tear up your truck just yet. And I would assume maybe next 5 to 7 laps, these guys are coming right back down for their, not their last stop, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, so it's been about 20 laps or so since pretty much anybody has pit, so I would like to think by lap 60 you're going to probably start seeing a few. The 00 of Gary Huffines, again, kind of in the worst spot as he last pit on lap 30. So we know he's gone at least 25 laps, and that's all been under green so far in this kind of the middle stint, if you will, of this race. So the 00 will be the first to pit road, and that'll be a good indication of when everybody else can come down. And like we said, it's been in the 30s or so for lap count, but there were a couple cautions in there to save some fuel, so we're expecting anywhere from 25 to 30 laps to be able to go on fuel here. So definitely higher if you can not be a leader of a pack, like the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. So Cody Nagels, our actual race leader, is getting a good draft from his teammate there and able to save just a little bit of fuel. And they're they're staving off that second pack pretty well. The gap is 5.6 seconds, and it's been closing, but only by a tenth or a tenth and a half at the most a lap. So these guys still have a pretty sizable lead, and caution is out on the speedway.
Oh, this is reminding me just of last season as somebody is throwing a ton of smoke. Oh, heads up.
It's like Ryan Decker involved. We'll focus on him, and we'll try to pay attention to what we see here. And then, yep, coming off of turn 2, the 48 and the 52. A little bit of a disagreement over who's got the space there. And, oh, wow, is the 48 going to go up and over? Oh, wow, that's... no, okay, it's going to settle back down. But, I mean, big contact for that 48, and I think he's going to be the only one involved here. But Ryan Decker and maybe the 19. Oh, good avoidance for him there as he gets around it. So, yeah, just Ryan Decker going around after the contact with the 52. Heavy damage after hitting the inside wall, but that will bring out the third caution for tonight, and that will probably be a fast repair to burn for Ryan Decker as we'll jump back live and we'll watch everybody but Cody Nagels come down pit road here.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it tonight. We didn't know much about it. Maybe this is the bonus lap. We don't know, but we'll see a strategy when we get back from a commercial break.
Yeah, let's give some love to our friends at 40racewear.com, and we'll be right back.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
So looking a little further into the last incident there, sometimes the netcode taketh and sometimes the netcode giveth. And at that point, the netcode had taketh, so we didn't have a good camera shot at it, but no contact between the physical visualization that we have of the two trucks there involved, the 58 and the 48. But obviously, iRacing and the server thought that they did make contact, which is why you saw the 48 go around. So some good, clean, hard racing, and unfortunately, just some contact. That's just a part of the nature of racing online. That will bring out the third caution, though. Obviously, you heard from our friends at 40racewear.com. Don't forget to use that code area 5115. That's area 5115 at 40racewear.com for 15% off all of your sim racing apparel needs. They've got gloves and shoes and plenty of other really cool stuff. Really good stuff to have for sim racing. And who knows, shoes are pretty comfortable to have on a daily basis. Maybe get some comfy sim shoes to wear around the house. Plenty of uses for all the great stuff at 40racewear.com, Brandon.
Yeah, and you definitely don't think you need gloves until you race in the summertime. Yeah, everybody's got air conditioning, but when you're racing over, 50, 75 laps, it's nice to have them gloves. And I really thank 4D Racewear for coming on and being able to give the drivers a discount, or whoever uses it a discount. It definitely makes a dent and helps us out. So shout out to them guys, and we're about to go back green, and maybe the 16's thinking I can make it to lap 70 and pull off the last pit stop. So we're back green, and the 16 gets a clean start there by the 24 as Bud is going to have to battle back on the outside.
Good push from the 24 for the 16, and yeah, that's a good point, Brandon. The 16 could be in a position here to pit one last time as the lap opens up for pit road. So he last pit on lap 37. So in 6 laps, it'll be about 30 laps. But if he can stretch it another 4 or 5 past that, then he'll have an opportunity to make one final pit stop to the end, because everybody is going to need to do the same thing here. But that is going to pack up the rest of the group here, as Gabe Butler now leads from the outside lane with the push from 6 of Bud Steele, 24 Everett Lane ahead of Cody Nagels in the inside lane. 2 by 2 down the backstretch we go.
Yeah, I think that has to be the 16's game plan. As you've seen, he dropped. He didn't even try to battle back there on the inside. He immediately got a truck in front of him, and you can see he's not really just pushing very hard, just trying to save a little bit of fuel. If you can make it 35 laps in these trucks, he's only got 3 more laps to go. So we talked about it at the beginning of the race. Strategy is everything, and the 16's really been hot this year. As the 6 bobbles, we're going to be 3 wide.
Oh, they're going to wreck. The 08 makes contact. The 6 is going to stay up in the wall, and we're going to stay green. And hopefully the 6 doesn't have too much damage here and can hold on to this pack. Mike Allen and Anthony Lane are down pit road. Looks like serving penalties, I believe, as Gabe Butler is going to take over control of this race ahead of teammate Everett Lane. So it's also going to heat up the battle for the lucky dog position. You've got the 77 of Robert Amaral, the first car 1 lap down. 2 trucks behind him is the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. Behind him is the 00 of Gary Huffines, who's going to go to the outside with the 14 of Vicente. And then David Overstreet directly behind them, as well as Les Levy. These guys are all battling back here for that lucky dog position, as the leaders, Gabe Butler, Everett Lane, Rick Sanchez, Cody Nagels, and Dale Rapp, fight for first place at the moment.
Yeah, and I think this is where we know we had the cautions, but the 14, if I'm him, I'm even trying to get up there. You know your teammates got to come down and pit. I wouldn't be surprised if he's even trying to get up there and catch him and come pit that final time with him.
Yeah, I think that would be definitely their plan, obviously with Cody staying out there. I mean, I think it makes perfect sense. Obviously, Vicente wasn't going to get a wave around there to get a lap back, so it's best for him to come down and get a set of 4 fresh Goodyear tires. And as I say that, I actually check, and it looks like he did actually only take fuel. So the 16 of Cody Nagels is going to come down pit road, and he's going to get a little sideways as he does it, but saves it, and he's on the apron, and he's going to have to make a pit stop here. And I don't think he's going to be able to stretch this one to the end, so this might be a missed opportunity for the 16 to come down pit road under that last caution, and has to come down by himself here as the pack continues on.
Yeah, and you really have to check up, especially being in that pack as fast as you're going, when you don't want to get ran over. But what you don't want to do is once you hit that yellow line on coming into turn 3, you got to stay below that white line as they're touching. Ooh, he's going to be in the wall. It's going to get tight.
Another
but you don't want to over... Yeah, go ahead. No, I was just saying the 16, the 5 still in the wall, but you do not want to overshoot that and get a penalty and have to come back down. That would have ruined the 16 chances. That's why he locked it up as hard as he did. But unfortunate here for the 5. If I'm him, I'd come down and take that final pit stop right now.
Yeah, the window's not quite open yet, though. I know he wants to try and get that damage repaired, but I think it's smart that he stays out for at least a couple more laps. But, I mean, that's our 3rd incident tonight that could have brought out a yellow, but obviously without a car spinning around, you have to be at least probably 90 degrees to the racing surface with other cars present in the area for iRacing to call a caution. So because there's been a lot of incidents that did not cause a car to go around but just slowed down, it's not going to throw the yellow, and they're going to try and do it again there as the 00 gets a little bit of a push in the middle of the corner there. They're battling for the lucky dog as the leaders Gabe Butler, Everett Lane, and the 85 of Adam Kilday, good recovery for him, are working in the high side there. And the 14 of Vicente Guerrero, again, he is 1 lap down. He's trying to put himself in the lucky dog position. If he can get ahead of the leaders and a yellow were to come out, then he would be on the tail end of the lead lap, and that would then put, I believe, the 00 of Gary Huffines, who's working really hard with David Overstreet back there to try and get up to the front of this pack as well. That would help at least one more car get back to the lead lap.
Yeah, one guy that does not want to see a caution right now, boom, that's that 16. He went from first to the last car, 1 lap down. So he is praying that these drivers keep it clean, keep it green, and at least till they come for their last pit stop so we can get back on this lead lap. But at 14, he's battled his butt off. He's trying to get his lap back the old-fashioned way. Here comes that 00. He knows that's who he's battling is right there in front of him. So we got a battle for the lead and a battle for the lucky dog. Can they keep him straight?
Yeah, right in the same area too. The 85 is working in the high side, the 88, the 24 in the bottom. So the 14 and the 00, remember, are your lapped cars, so they are not going to be counted in the standings on the lead lap there. So you've got Gabe Butler and the 85 of Adam Kilday, the 24, the 52, then the 3 of Holiday as your top 5, as 3 cars in the outside lane there, second, third, and fourth in line are going to be your lap cars, trying to get that lap back or be in position for the lucky dog should a yellow come out. Gabe Butler controlling the field with the teammate behind him, clicking off a few more laps led for himself, and we are just about to the 3/4 mark of this one.
Yeah, man, these trucks look like they are a handful. Woo, you can see the 00 sideways going into the corner there a little bit. I can only imagine what these drivers are going through. The tires are taking a beating. The surface is getting hotter the longer they run. As you can see,
got him around.
That one's going to cause a caution. Is still going to pack him up in there.
Joshua Highball goes for a ride. 4th caution of the night. We'll see if we can break it down for you here. Coming through the tri-oval. 101 already getting a little bit sideways in front of, I think that's the 51 of Jim Brooks. And then the 51 goes up and around, tries to get up in the air, but settles back down, and you're going to see him slide across the racetrack and nowhere to go for the likes of Bud Steele. It looks like Ryan Decker jams on the brakes, does get into a little bit of contact there, but does everything he can to avoid it. The 714, I think, Doug Webb, yep, he's going to pile in there, be involved in that one, and then we'll see the 19 also sliding in there towards the end, nowhere to really go. The 101 again, who went for the ride to begin with, and all these guys are probably going to be trying to grab some fast repairs, but that is going to, I think, actually help some. I'm curious. I don't think this is going to help Cody Nagels because I think this is going to trap him 1 lap down, but Adam Kilday was your race leader as the yellow came out, and he's going to come down pit road and get service to his Chevy Silverado, as well as Gabe Butler, Everett Lane, Dale Rapp, Doc Holliday. Chevrolets in the top 5. First forward is Jim Brooks as he comes down pit road as well. Then we got Keedy Ingstrom in, Thomas Holder, Bud Steele in the first Toyota of Justin Davis. Pretty much everybody coming down pit road here.
Yeah, I think if Cody Nagels, you've already risked it. I stay out here. I don't even come down pit road. I get to wave around and see what happens. So we'll take a commercial break and we'll get back to it.
Yeah, we're going to throw it back. Our first commercial of the night, we'll repeat it again. It'll be Ranger Creative Concepts. Frank Ranger Jr., who is not in the field tonight, but a long-standing member. Him and his wife Mindy, well, we'll roll the clip and you can see all the cool stuff they do with Ranger Creative Concepts.
I feel like I'm afraid to say how I feel, to know I let you down. 'Cause late nights turn to days, don't wanna let you down. With each breath we give away, it'll never be the same. I'm chasing somebody who won't ever ease the pain, but I don't want half of your heart. You can have it back if it's only half of your heart. If it's only half of your heart.
Pit stops are completed, and I think everybody should be ready to go to the end here. Looking back, Les Levy and Cody Nagels stay out on that caution there. Everybody else coming down on lap 75. David Overstreet also stays out, which puts him back on the lead lap. Gary Huffines does the same, gets the wave around. Then Hayden Davis, Joshua Highbaugh on the lead lap. And Vicente Guerrero, who was the lucky dog, is going to get his lap back and be able to pit. So a couple cars, again, Gary Huffines, David Overstreet get the wave around. I believe Les Levy did get the wave around as well, and Cody Nagels may have got the wave around to 1 down because he did not come down pit road, but the pace car will come down pit road. Adam Kilday in the 85 is going to be your control car for this restart here as we get back underway. 85, 51 controlling the front lane of this restart here. A big push from Everett Lane to clear the 85 and the 24 into turn number 1.
Yeah, good start there by the 85 and the 24.
And we have a yellow and more caution coming out.
Yeah, I think the 51... Oh, man, I think they seen the yellow and somebody didn't see it late. I don't think he caused the yellow. I think he was definitely just got part of the hiccup here. Let's take a peek at this restart.
Yeah, we'll let it play from the restart here, and we'll try to see if we can see. We'll just zoom out as much as we can and try to understand exactly what happened here. Assuming it came from further on back, so we'll watch that here. And we'll do a little bit of, oh, there you see there, further on back. So Robert Amaral is about where this all kicked off. So we're going to rewind just again for a little bit and then watch it as it unfolds into turn number 1 off of the tri-oval. So you see contact between the 13 and the 77 as they come through the tri-oval here. And yeah, you can see space between them, so a little bit of netcode, obviously racing hard, but a little bit of netcode, and they get tangled together. Then 13 gets spun across the nose of, I think, the 81 of Lane. And then the 48 checks up in time, slides through. The 77 gets some contact. The 101 gets through okay. 14 checks up in time. So I think no harm for the 48, the 101, or the 14 there. Just the 13, the 77, and the 101 involved. So we'll jump back live and see if we can see. Looks like most of our drivers are going to stay out. Doc Holliday is going to be the first one to come down pit road. Jim Brooks, Gary Huffines, big break for him and David Overstreet there. They got their lap back from the wave around on the previous caution, and now they can pit. Maybe grab a fast repair, especially for that 46 here. Yep, Fender pops back into action, and he'll be ready to go, ready to fight for that lead lap battle. Les Levy, I believe, is going to be your lucky dog as he's getting waved around the pace car now. Should be able to come down pit road and get service to that number 62 Chevrolet. He'll be back on the lead lap, and I think if all goes well, actually, no. Enough cars are going to stay out. Cody Nagels is going to get trapped a lap down. So Cody Nagels will still be 1 lap down. Robert Amaral will still be a lap down. And then Mike Allen as well. Anthony Lane appears to be about 2 laps down at the moment. And, yeah, I think that's going to conclude pit stops for pretty much everybody at this point.
Yeah, and I think these cautions, Cody Nagels isn't getting the break that he needs to be the first car lap down, but these cautions really are a blessing in disguise because he's not having to come down pit road and he's being able to save that fuel from having to pit a couple laps early compared to all these other guys. So try to find the bright spot in everything, but I think that pace car is just gonna, when he comes down pit road this time, just go ahead and put it in neutral.
Yeah, I think that's going to help the 16. Obviously, he pit about 4 laps before where we thought anybody could come down pit road to the end. So for Cody Nagels, it is a saving grace. And I don't think if this keeps extending the way that it is, he will be in a position to be able to not have to pit anymore. So he's going to still have to stretch it, and he's going to be battling for the lucky dog as he does it. So yeah, it looks like Joshua Highbaugh is going to be tail end of the lead lap because he is, ahead of the leaders there. So Joshua Highbaugh, all the way back to 21st, will be on the lead lap. Cody Nagels will be 1 lap down, and Mike Allen appears to be 2 laps down. Robert Amaral coming off of pit road as well, also 2 laps down, and then Anthony Lane, potentially 3, I think, 2 or 3, not entirely sure there, but Adam Kilday is going to be the control car for this restart. He had the lead as the yellow came out. The 24 is going to be to his outside. So actually, I think that's 2 restarts in a row for the 85 to be out in the lead. Now he's going to have Gabe Butler behind him pushing, and the 24 and the 52 are going to find each other in the outside lane here.
Yeah, boom. I just want to give a shout out to everybody in the YouTube chat. It's been active tonight. I appreciate everybody tuning in here. I seen somebody say who you think's gonna win. Boom. It's 20 to go. It's time to put you on the spot. I'm reaching back all the way to 15th. I got faith in that 48. I think he's gonna pull out some moves here.
We will see. I'm thinking that one of these guys in the top row are going to probably grab a lead tonight with 20 laps to go. I'll put my money on Adam Kilday as he gets going for the restart. 24 and 52, pretty good connection in the outside lane, but the 85 inches ahead. Gabe Butler doesn't get quite the best start there, but now he's on the bumper of the 85, and he's going to be pushing all the way down the back straightaway, trying to get that lead for that inside lane.
Yeah, I think these are really going to have to... This is where teammates is really going to be a really good thing to have. You want to be around them because these runs are going to come really, really, really quickly, and you want to have somebody around you that you can communicate, let them know when the run's coming, when it's not, and so these guys are really going to have to be on their toes because nobody's going to lift, nobody's going to give you the space. It's go time now.
85 and the 88 control the inside lane. They are clear the outside lane, and Everett Lane is going to be there. Now behind his teammate, Gabe Butler, to the high side. 88, 24, 52 in the outside lane. And look who's made a really great recovery for tonight. Thomas Holder involved in a couple yellows that we've had tonight, and a couple of the incidents that didn't even bring out a yellow. So the 11, good recovery there, up in the top 7 at the moment here, as the 85 and the 64 get a little disconnected with the big push to the 88. Does he get clear to the bottom? He won't. Maybe down the back straightaway he will, though.
Yeah, a lot of times when we go to super speedways, a lot of guys prefer that bottom, but that second lane has been really, really, really strong tonight, especially when you got good pushers up there. So as you can see, the 85, he's going to battle back on the inside, but they're going to get a really big run. You see there is the outside lane doesn't have to turn as much to get through the tri-oval or whatever you want to call it here, but you can see the 88 able to clear with some good push. Now the 52 is going to have to do the same thing to the 24 to keep that outside lane rolling.
Yeah, Dale Rapp is going to push the 24 down the back straightaway. The 88 gets clear with the push from his teammate, and the 2 teammates are going to lead both lanes there as 52 goes a little wide. The 6 is going to shoot the middle, put it 3 wide for a moment here, and the 52 is going to see if he can find his way back down as soon as possible. The 10 is going to fill the hole and get there as well, so that 85, the 24, and now the 6 are in line in the outside lane as 2 gets shuffled back to the 5th position in the outside lane.
Man, you could throw a blanket under these front guys. It's so crazy how straight and fast these guys are hauling around here, and not to, we haven't seen one hiccup, knock on wood. And speaking of a guy wanting a hiccup, he's the 16, Cody Nagels. We brought him up before, our points leader. He's right at the back of this pack. He's watching all this unfold in front of him. He's got to be patient. He's used to running up here. But he needs somebody up here to make a mistake so he can throw his hat right back in the name to win this thing.
Yeah, the good news for him is he doesn't have a lot to challenge for the lucky dog position, as we are 3 wide now with Vicente Guerrero going to the high side. He's making it 3 wide there through the tri-oval around the outside. The 6 is going to pick him up, and ooh, the 10 is going to make a little contact, and we're going to stay rolling there. Justin Davis is going to get the 101 into the wall further on back. Again, still rolling here, but that's going to shuffle back the 10 just a little bit as the 14 makes a very aggressive move in the later stages to try and get up to the front of this pack. The 88, the 64, the 11, the inside lane, the 85, the 24, and the 6 in the outside. They're going to pass the lap car of the 714, who will go 2 laps down. So that is, 14 and him make contact, and they're going to be up into the outside wall. Again, no caution for another incident that we've seen here tonight.
Man, what a tough break for the 14 and the 714. He was trying to do everything he could to stay out of his way. Coming through the front stretch, he clips where the wall curves and unfortunately makes contact with the 14. But we're going to have a little bit more contact as the 11 and the 24, they hug going down the front stretch, able to keep it straight. Boom. These guys are willing it right now. No cautions. Vicente's had one heck of a night. He needs a caution ASAP.
I love the hug that you mentioned on the front straightaway. Yeah, these guys are no holds barred, and we have definitely heard that with the update, these trucks are on edge, but they're a little more controllable, and you can see the aggression level from some of these drivers with that. So, I mean, you're going to probably see a pretty solid finish to this one. We are 10 laps to go. It's going to be Gabe Butler and Keedy Engstrom in the inside lane now. The 85 has Bud Steele and David Overstreet. And they are working 2x2 about 10 rows, 8 rows, 10 rows deep. So the top 20 or so here, yeah, top 17 are in this lead pack here, trying to win this race here with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, the 46 battling up there. He pulled off the win at iRacing Superspeedway earlier this year. He's getting a good push there from the 5. He's got some good confidence after, like we said, pulled off that win a couple weeks ago, and he's ready to get back up here and try to make it two for 4 this year. But man, he's got some tough competitors around him, and these guys aren't giving one bit. Look how close they are. Boom.
Yeah, the 46 and the 5 do have race wins for this year. Also does Cody Nagels, but obviously from a lap down, it won't do him too much good here unless a caution comes out and he can get back on the lean lap. The 88 and the 85 battle side by side. Keedy Engstrom there pushing the 88 ahead into the lead. 11 and 24 are in the inside lane as well. The 6, again, we've mentioned the 46 and the 5 there in the outside lane behind the 85 of Adam Kilday working in that high lane. It'll be 7 laps to go as we cross the stripe coming out of turn number 4.
Yeah, coming to 7. Ooh,
they touch again.
Yep. Hey, there's nothing wrong just hugging the racer next to you. Nothing wrong with that. Ooh, hugging the wall not so much as it's going to get tight. Looks like they're going to keep it. Oh, that's going to bring out
yellow.
The caution. Yes, sir.
Who was that went around? Oh, Justin Davis in the 13 of Mike Allen spins around.
Unfortunate break for these guys, but a guy right now that is smacking the steering wheel as hard as he can, and that's the 16 of Cody Nagels. He's going to get his lap back as we take a peek back here and see what exactly happened.
Yeah, so coming through the tri-oval here, got a spot to rewind to not too far away, so we'll play it. And as we come through, obviously on the front straightaway, you see the 6 gets into the side of the 11. The 46 gets a little bit sideways, and this kind of seems like it snakes through further on back. And then we go back further to then Jim Brooks, and we'll focus on the 13 of Mike Allen, as we know he was involved, as well as the 10. So you saw that outside lane kind of accordions there, gets 3 wide, and then the 46 gets into the wall, and then the 10 has to check up, and then you see through the middle of the corner there, 51 just makes a move to the high side there, and the 10 is there. And then the 13, man, the 19 is going to get a touch of that. And then you'll see here, I think, when the 13 actually spins. So there's your car at least 90 degrees to the racing surface. That throws out your yellow. And it'll be for the 13 and the 10 there. So that will be a caution flag. And we've seen so many incidents tonight that didn't bring out a yellow. So finally one here. It'll be 6th caution. 13 stays on pit road here. That was good news for the 16 of Cody Nagels, who is going to get his lap back here, and he's going to be able to pit. So fortunate for the 16 is in good position here after that 6th caution of the night. And we'll take another quick break. We'll throw it back to commercial. We hear once again from our wonderful Whiplash Sim Cams, who bring us all of your camera views that you see on screen for all of the races here at Area 51. So we'll hear more from them. 2x2 behind the pace car. Down the back straightaway, the 88, 85, 6 line up in the inside lane, the 64, then the 11 and the 24 in the outside lane. It'll be 3 laps to go, so we'll have a green, white checkered, or green, white checkered? Yeah, green, white checkered to the finish here. So Gabe Butler will be the control truck. We've got now 18 on the lead lap, all the way back to Cody Nagels, who just pitted for some extra fuel and looks like tires as well. And he's got a teammate, Vicente Guerrero, who's now 2 laps down, but Vicente is going to be there probably looking to see these guys maybe make a move to that high side as we get back going. Green flag in just a moment here. Pace car dives onto pit road. Gabe Butler, the control truck, through the Echo Park restart zone. On the gas they go. Good move, good jump for the inside lane. The 85 and the 88 are really well connected here. The 64 gets out ahead, but the 3 in the inside lane are having a really good push through turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, good start up there for the 88 and the 85. Backwards a little bit. That outside lane is really not getting going like they wanted it to. It's going to check everybody up. We've seen some guys moving around, but now we see a big move there by Rick Sanchez. Jump to the outside as the 88 still leads us. He's winless this year. That's right, the 88, Gabe Butler, winless this year, trying to change it today. We're going to come to 2 to go. Is there going to be almost 3 wide? Boom.
If we get back to the white flag, then we will race all the way back to the line. No yellow will come out on the final lap, but if a yellow comes out between now and then, it will be one, and the 88 will lead. Bud Steele down the back straightaway, the 85 and the 5 working together. The 5 has a race win already this season. Pretty much nobody else in the top 10 does. So the 5 could be the first repeat winner of the season. Otherwise, we're going to have another new winner as white flag flies on the speedway. It's going to be the 88 or 85, or does someone jump to that third lane and make something happen here? The 64 does, but he gets shuffled out by the 24.
Yeah, I think right now you don't want to tear up your race truck and lose too many positions trying to jump to that third lane. If I'm anybody, I'm staying in the lane, and I'm just going to try to push as hard as I can and just eat it as 11 gets into the 5 a little bit. That's really going to hurt Adam Kilday's run on the outside. Is Gabe Butler's going to take it.
Big push from Bud Steele. Gabe Butler comes home victorious for the first time this season. Good top 3 for Bud Steele. And then the recovery for Thomas Holder after being quite a ways back, involved in quite a few incidents for tonight. He's going to be very happy to come home with that 3rd place finish. And we'll run through those results for you here in just a second as we pull those up and get through everybody else. But yeah, Gabe Butler coming home victorious for Team Bootnaka. Bud Steele comes home in 2nd place for Roswell Motorsports, and then Thomas Holder. The up and down day ends on a high note for him. Adam Kilday, after being in a good position in the outside lane, coming to the white, he's going to have to settle for 4th place, but a solid earned position for him. Dale Rapp in the 52 had quite an eventful night, but he's going to have a solid top 5 for himself. Doc Holliday there in the 3 truck is going to find him solidly in the top 10, as well as Everett Lane. Jim Brooks there is going to finish in the 8th position, Eric Laurie in the 9th, and then David Overstreet will get another top 10 on his season. Joshua Highbaugh went for a couple rides trying to flip over, I think on multiple occasions, but still a solid 11th place finish for him tonight. Ryan Decker there's going to finish 12th in his debut for this season. Les Levy comes back from I think 2 laps down to come to the 13th position, and then Cody Nagels able to get back on the lead lap at the end, but really not able to move up too much further in the final couple laps. Hayden Davis is going to be your last car in the top 15. You see Bob Fitzgerald there in the 08. He's going to be coming home in the 16th position, and then Rick Sanchez there after getting spun on that last lap. He's going to have to settle for a 17th after a really solid night for him tonight, as well as Keity Engstrom involved in that one as well. Had a pretty good night, mostly in the top 5, top 10 for that number 64. Last bit of our results here, we'll pull up Gary Huffines in the 00. A bit of an up and down night for him. He's going to be the first car 2 laps down. Robert Amaral involved in a few incidents himself, 2 laps down in 20th. Vicente Guerrero found himself 2 laps down as well in 21st. Justin Davis 2 down in 22nd. Then we go back to Anthony Lane 4 down in 23rd. Mike Allen in the 13, 5 laps down in 24th, and then Doug Webb will be your final finishing position for tonight. So with that, we will start to bring up some of our drivers for interview here, and we'll go back and show you these beautiful trucks out on the speedway. And we'll talk to the 11 of Thomas Holder first. And we were kind of mentioning it already, but Thomas, definitely a bit of an up and down day for you. Involved in a couple of the early incidents and able to capitalize and come back home in a third place finish. That's got to be a good feeling after what seemed like some calamity early on.
Yes, sir, Boomer. Started in the rear. It's only my second or third race with these guys, and just trying to stay clean. I got caught up in one situation there, but just tried to play it smart and work my way to the front, and that was a good finish, good race.
Yeah, you had one heck of a bounce back there. How much of these trucks were a handful to run? We've seen it earlier with the bigger tracks, that how quick the runs come. How hard was that really to tame tonight with this little shorter, narrow track that we have here at Atlanta?
Actually, I didn't have any problems. It's pretty smooth. As long as you could get four tires under that caution, the truck would pretty much stick anywhere you want to go. If you had some tire wire on your outside there, it's a little slick time or two, but all in all, I felt the truck tonight handled really well.
It seemed like everyone was able to be, honestly, fairly aggressive with a decent amount of control. Obviously, we saw some trucks sliding around, but we saw a lot of incidents that didn't bring out yellows. Obviously, mentioned you were involved in a few towards the beginning there, and I get, kind of take us through that mindset of, that resilience that you need to have when you start your race out, and you go through an incident or two, and maybe burn a faster pair or two. I'm not sure if that was your case, but take us through the mindset of just trying to be patient enough to, like, hey, let this thing come to me. How does that mindset kind of, how do you have that kind of mindset as you go into so many issues early on in the race?
Well, normally my mindset is to be patient, not be so aggressive, and work my way up through the field, during the race, and then just try to be there at the end. It was, just part of the thing happening with the wrecks and stuff. You know that's going to happen, but anyway, I'm just patient. I'm a smooth driver, I feel like, and I'm trying to use my head instead of the right foot all the time. So that's kind of the way I race, and seems to pay off for me a lot of the times.
Well, it pays off indeed for you tonight. Definitely good to already be in the mindset to be patient and let things kind of come to you. So definitely a really great opportunity for you there, Thomas. Obviously early on in your career at Area 51, but already collected your first top 3 in your first interview. So congratulations to you. We'll roll out that red carpet now for any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for that third place finish.
First of all, the Lord Jesus Christ, my Savior, and then I'd like to thank my teammates, Gabe Butler, Everett, Lane. I was trying to get to the front to help them guys out, and appreciate you guys up here in the booth and all you do. I've been watching y'all for a while and really impressed with how y'all call the race, and I appreciate Area 51 admin and everybody in here, and I'm just enjoying being a part of this league.
All right, well, congratulations, Thomas. We appreciate that. Glad you finally hopped on board behind the driver's seat after being a fan for a while. So good to have you in here, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you again very soon.
Oh, thank you, sir. I really appreciate that, and I hope we do. You guys have a good evening, okay?
You too. Thanks, Thomas.
Thank you, sir.
All right, one truck just ahead of him in the finishing positions is going to be that 6 of Bud Steele. He's got the Blue Angels on the hood and the deck of that number 6 Ford F-150, coming home with a solid second place finish tonight. Bud, take us through how you got there.
How you doing, Boomer? Wow. From the front to the back, I don't know. Somebody said that there was some net code. I thought I just got loose and about wrecked everybody, but kind of saved it against the wall, and just was able to stay with the pack, and just tried to ease my way back to the front, and do some different things on some of the pit stops. The yellows definitely helped me get back up front, and had no choice but to push Gabe again. But, did that a couple days ago. But no, it was a fun race. Probably too many cautions, but um, I was able to stay up front.
Yeah, one heck of a run for you, bud. And yeah, some of them definitely some cautions tonight. Some definitely had a little bit of net code. I don't think it was much on our drivers with some of them, but not having the season you want starting. How does this build your confidence a little bit more as the season gets going with more drivers this year? What does this do for the confidence, not just for you, but the whole team that you guys bring every week?
Well, for whatever reason, starting out the season, I thought it was a better idea to start in the back, just because of a lot of new drivers, and that just didn't work out. So yeah, you've got to qualify fairly well, and run up front and be in contention. You just can't count on starting in the back and working your way up every race, and that was kind of my bad, starting in the back and getting in trouble. So just got to try to qualify better, and stay as close to the front as possible. That'll kind of turn things around a little bit.
Yeah, definitely a bit of an up and down night, as you kind of already alluded to, but able to be in the right spot at the right time at the end. And obviously a lot of yellows kind of brought that field together, but pretty much after most of the chaos had happened, you're kind of up in the front. And at what point did you kind of realize, like, hey, I think I have a pretty good shot to have a good finish here tonight?
Well, right there in the end, when I started fifth on the inside, I felt pretty good, because it was a good line of cars on the inside, and was able to kind of break away a little bit. But that outside line, I think Rick was pushing Adam until I don't know if Rick got loose or what. That's kind of what it looked like. But it that definitely helped the inside line even more. So just staying staying in a spot where you can take advantage of some mistakes by others, and because all these guys are just so good. You just these things don't come easy, and you just got to stay with it.
Well, stay with it. Indeed, you did there tonight, bud. And we'll roll out that red carpet now for any thanks or shoutouts you'd like to give for that second place finish.
Well, definitely thanks to Green White Checker TV, and you, Boomer, and Brandon. It's always fun to go back and watch. My teammates, Jim, I was trying to look back, see where Jim finished. I know Ryan, this was his first time back this season, so he was shaking off some rust. So want to thank everybody here at Area 51, and family, and thank my beautiful wife, and probably sit down and go back and take a look at this.
Well, we appreciate your unwavering support, as always, of Green White Checker TV and Area 51, bud. Congratulations on the second place finish, and hopefully we'll talk to you again very soon.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Boomer. Take care.
Alrighty, that leaves one more, and that is going to be the 88 of Gabe Butler. Gonna grab the first win of the season for you here after 3 top 10s and 2 top 5s. Pretty solid start to your season, don't you think?
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good, and good points night tonight. So and getting the win, so that's a big plus. So yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, only took you 4 races this year, Gabe, or should say this season. Asked to me just from driving these before and just watching it tonight. Tonight they just look like way more of a handful. What you think of it? I know you were up front most of the time, but man, as it went back when that third lane tried to form, it just looked like it was just brewing for damage.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. The track felt like really slick tonight, and um, as the tires wear, yeah, you're either going to get tight or you're going to get loose. But this thing seemed to want to kick out really bad early on in the run, which was kind of surprising. But I mean, the track wasn't that hot, so yeah, you have to go back to kind of lifting a little bit and saving your tires as best you can. But the right rear was really getting torched tonight, which is unusual, as was the inside of the right front.
Yeah, I know you also had to battle back. Obviously, we had decent amount of yellows for tonight. I think for the most part you were kind of able to avoid the chaos, but really it was the incidents that didn't bring out yellows that kind of put you guys back in a hole. I know you and the 5 were kind of working together there, trying to catch back up to the leaders, and then caught the leaders, and then another incident that did not bring out a yellow came out once again, and push you guys back a little bit farther. But take us through some of that. I mean, obviously, there's some. I mean, you and Rick seem to work really well together, and pushing really hard to get those trucks back up to the lead. But take us through some of the mentality of that aspect of it, of pushing like that to try and make sure you can catch back up to the leaders and stay on that lead lap.
Well, yeah, he did a hell of a job, but I mean, after that first one you were talking about, I didn't realize that I had damage on the front, which I did. I did when somebody told me I had damage on the front, but we were catching them, albeit slowly, and we finally did catch them, and then the same damn thing happened, and we had to try and do it all over again, and I think I got a little bit more damage, and we were just too far away from them. They were start pulling away, and then I think a caution came out, and that saved us. So we were able to make some strategy calls on that particular caution, and we were able to get up front and stay up there.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, for pretty much the rest of the race, you guys were kind of able to control. I know, obviously, the 85 got up there, but really, I mean, you and Everett kind of seemed to be controlling, for the most part, the inside and the outside lane. I know you didn't have too many other teammates up at the front, but it's got to be a good feeling when you have that opportunity to kind of be in control of the race like that, especially later in the stages.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I said, uh, we made a call to take 4 tires, and we didn't lose hardly any spots. So that really got us ahead of the game there, which was awesome. And uh, yeah, we're really surprised. But anyway, it worked out really good for us, and got a hell of a push there from Bud at the end, and Thomas was on his butt. So we were really able to track down that backstretch on that last lap there. So I owe Bud too now. I told him I'm getting heavily indebted to Bud here, so I got to be careful.
Not a bad guy to be in debt to, I'd say. But yeah,
No.
we'll roll out that red carpet now for any other thanks or shout outs you'd like to give for that first win of the season there, Gabe.
Yeah, well, again, huge shout out to Bud and Thomas there, all of us on the bottom line. We got that train going. And of course, all the fellows that we're working with in Boot Knocker tonight, Doug and Thomas, Everett, and Eric, of course. It's great having teammates like that. And you guys up in the boot, fellas, I'm sure you enjoyed broadcasting that one. I think that would have been a lot of fun to watch, and I'll watch it later on tonight. And of course, Area 51 in general and all the admins for everything they do. And shout out to Ryan Decker. I think Bud had mentioned it was really nice to see him back racing for the first time this season. And so look forward to seeing him again next week and everybody else.
Good deal, Gabe. Well, congratulations to you. Another win in the win column for you. Quite a few now at this point. And yeah, hopefully talk to you again very soon here.
All right, fellas. Thanks.
And that will do it for tonight. And a pretty eventful race we had here. Obviously, I believe it was 6 cautions. If you count the incidents that didn't bring out a yellow, it probably could have been up to 10 here tonight, Brandon. And there was a lot of chaos from start to finish.
Yeah, it was definitely an exciting race, and the exciting races are always the best. You know, it's not just because it's exciting, but it gives chances for new names and new faces to get up front. And I just want to touch back on what Butts did. He came in with the mindset that some new drivers I'm going to ride around in the back, and all the new drivers that are here, it made him pay. And it's just great to have such a good group of guys on Friday night that race hard and race clean. And yeah, you're going to have accidents, but that's iRacing for you. And so, a few of them, if not more, was because of iRacing tonight. And these drivers are great, and they put on one hell of a show for us once again. And I'm ready to get to Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be more fun, as you mentioned, on Sunday. But yeah, glad to get through the 4th race of the season. We've got, again, a 14 race schedule for you here. So before we let you go, we got to remind you what's coming up next. So next week, we'll be at Talladega for the 2nd time this season. There on July 18th. We're going to have an off week after that, and then August 1st, we'll be back at Daytona, and then we'll have another off week, and we'll be back on August 15th at Talladega. So a couple off weeks here in the middle of the season, but rest assured, still plenty of action to come here in this 2nd season of 2025. And we are just getting started here. 4 races in of the 14 race schedule. Sunday nights, we'll be back in 2 days. I'll be calling the shots again with my buddy Brandon Briggs here. So we will have that race at Atlanta Motor Speedway, or Echo Park Speedway as it's called now. For the Sunday Xfinity Series. Then it'll be the same schedule. Talladega will be the following week off, then Daytona, week off, then Talladega again on August 17th. So plenty of action here, so be sure to come back in 2 days for the Sunday night action. We'll check the Tuesday schedule. It's been a minute since we've paid attention there. So they actually have their next race at Gateway this coming Tuesday on the 15th. Then they'll go to Chicagoland on July 22nd. And then they'll take a week off, do kind of the same schedule as we have race, then week off, then race, and week off. So they'll do July 22nd at Chicagoland. They'll do August 5th at Watkins Glen, and then August 19th at Auto Club, and then through on the rest of their season. So plenty of action, as always, here on Green White Checkered TV, whether it's Tuesday nights in the IndyCar Series, Friday nights here with the Truck Series, and then Sunday nights with the Xfinity Superspeedway Series as well. And yeah, so much fun to bring all this action to you. Obviously, quite a bit of chaos, but some good green flag runs mixed in there as well, and a lot of fun that we got to have here on Green White Checkered TV here tonight. So for myself and for my buddy in the booth, Brandon Briggs, for Gael Brooks, our boss here at Green White Checkered TV, all of our wonderful partners, Ranger Creative Concepts, Whiplash SimCams, 4D Racewear. Appreciate everybody that is involved in all of the aspects of both the league and the broadcast. And as always, we'll wish you, hopefully you have a good week, and we'll catch you in the next one.